Well, hello friends, welcome in to Cooking with Bax. I am making today my mom's favorite famous chocolate chip cookie recipe. It's got a kind of an interesting ingredient that I'll tell you about in a second, but I'm just going to run down the ingredients real quick for you. You need 2 sticks of butter, 2 cups of flour, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and 3/4 cup of white sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 large eggs or 2 extra large eggs. I had a double yolker, which is fine, so that. And then a cup of milk chocolate chips, a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I'm putting a cup of nuts, that's optional. If you don't want any nuts in them, just leave them out. I'm using pecans. And then the other thing is a half a bar of chocolate. So like a candy bar, half a chocolate candy bar. Milk chocolate's what I'm using. You could use dark chocolate if you want, whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's the ingredients. Oh, and a teaspoon of vanilla. So first thing I wanna do is I'm gonna start creaming my 2 sticks of butter. And I'm gonna kind of get it going there for a second. So I'm gonna let that cream for quite a while, for actually almost 5 minutes. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I let my butter cream. Actually made a mistake with that. It's not actually 5 minutes with the butter. It's 5 minutes with the butter and sugar. We're creaming the butter and sugars together. So I let this go for just a couple of minutes to just really loosen it up. So now I'm gonna add my 3/4 cup brown sugar and my 3/4 cup of white sugar. And I'm gonna put that in. Now I'm gonna cream this for about 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes, until it's really light and fluffy, all right? Alrighty, so this has been going for about 4 or 5 minutes on medium speed. Other thing I wanted to tell you is make sure that your butter and your eggs are room temperature. Always incorporates better if they're at room temperature. So got this going, so I've had this creaming on medium for about 4 or 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna add my eggs, and you just dump those in. Super, you don't have to do it one at a time, just dump them all in. Let that go for a second. I'm gonna let that incorporate. Alrighty, let that go for a couple minutes. Now I've got my vanilla. It's a teaspoon, but I don't measure it. I just kind of give it a glug or a splash. So I'm just gonna give it a quick splash, and that's all you need there. Let that go for a second here. And I'm gonna scrape this down a little bit. And I've got a paddle, it's the paddle attachment, but I've got the scraper on the paddle, which is kind of cool. So anyway, so I've got, that's mixing up. Now, I'm gonna take my baking soda and salt, and I'm gonna dump that into my flour. Stir that in a little bit real quick. And then here's the secret ingredient. So you either a packet or one of these tubs of maple brown sugar oatmeal. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take in a food processor or a blender or whatever you wanna do and mix that up until it turns into a powder. And that is where also I'm gonna add my chopped up candy bar, the chocolate bar. I'm gonna put that in and whirl that around. So you can kind of see there, it's kind of a fine, powder, but then there's still some of the chocolate in there too. I'm just gonna dump that into my flour, and that gets stirred around as well. Now I'm gonna turn this on low, or turn it off right now, but I'm gonna turn on low. I'm gonna put my little shield on there so I don't start wearing flour. Turn it on low, and I'm just going to dump a couple spoonfuls at a time, let that go, get incorporated. And that's it. And we're going to keep dumping this in. Like I said, dump it in a couple spoonfuls at a time, let it get incorporated, and then finish up. So I'm going to do that, be back. Alrighty, so I've got my base mixed up pretty good. And I am going to now, I'm going to add my chocolate chips and my pecans. Just dump all those in, and at this point I took my paddle attachment off. I'm just going to fold this in really good. And then what we're going to do is this goes in the refrigerator for about a half hour. Let the dough rest in the refrigerator, get cold, and it'll make for a flatter cookie. So that's what I'm going to do. And when I do that, I'm going to set the oven is going to be 375. So I'm going to turn on my oven for 375. And then that way, get that going. That way when the dough is ready in a half hour, all I got to do is scoop them with an ice cream, I'll show you the little ice cream scoop I use to get uniform cookies, and we'll be eating some chocolate chip cookies. All right, y'all, I've been scooping cookies. They've been in the fridge for about a half hour. My oven's ready to go. I've got 2 batches that are ready to go in the oven. But what I wanted to do is show you a quick little trick. I use parchment paper. It's easy cleanup, it's inexpensive, and I just like it. It's just a lot easier. But whenever you lay it down, it seems like you always get this kind of action going. So, just an old trick, y'all probably already know this, but just flip it over, and I just roll it the other way. And just kind of smooth it out, make a little noise, Anyway, I just roll it the other way for just a second, and then unroll it, and it just lays right there, and you're good to go. And then you finish scooping your cookies. Like I said, I'm using this cookie scoop. It's always easier. It's just easier, and you get more uniform cookies that way. So I'm going to keep scooping these out. These, by the way, this one recipe will make about 48, 50 cookies. So it's a good, for what it is, it's a great cookie recipe. If you need something for work or school, or just want something that you can have pretty quick, because it's really quick and easy to put together. Other thing, you can this dough freezes really well, so you could scoop it up and freeze the sheets with the scoops, and then once they get frozen, put them in a plastic bag and put them back in the freezer. And then whenever you want some chocolate chip cookies fresh, you just go in the freezer, grab 3 or 4, bake them off. 375, 9 to 13 minutes or so, just depending on your oven. Just keep an eye on them. And I'm going to put these in the oven, and I'm going to show you a little trick when they come out to make to have chewy, crispy cookies. Hang tight with me. Be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm about 6 minutes into my bake time, and my oven runs a little hot on the top, so I'm going to flip them for the last 6 minutes. Take those out. Put those on the top. Back in for another 6 minutes, and when they're getting ready to come, when they come out of the oven, I'll come back and I'll show you my last trick. All right, y'all, let's see what these cookies look like. Now here's what you want to do. When they come out of the oven, you want to wrap them on the counter. Once or twice. And what that does is it takes the air out of them, flattens them out, and they get nice and crispy and chewy. So anyway, let these cool. I will take, you can actually handle the parchment paper when it comes out of the oven. It's not that hot, but the pan, of course, is hot. So And I just slide them out onto, onto the counter and let them cool. Just like that. And let them cool for a few minutes. Although, I'm gonna, and then you can kind of separate them if they're stuck together. And they'll be real soft when they come out of the oven, so, but they'll crisp up as they cool. But anyway, that's what they look like fresh out of the oven. They're, like I said, real soft right now, but I'm gonna taste one, and I hope you guys give this a try, this recipe a try. It's so good, and I miss my mom making them for me, but anyway, here's to her. Here's to Flo. Y'all have a great day. See ya. Bye.